Can you hear now? Oh, I'm so sorry. Sheesh. Thanks, Lucy. Uh, what am I doing wrong? There we go. I'm so sorry. There we go. So they had three different prayers. I just unmuted it.
Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of the 14 members of the council of which whom I serve, I want to welcome you all to the Los Angeles John Ferraro City Council chambers.
No problem. My bad.
It is
I
an
was
honor to
talking to
stand
myself.
before you. I see labor leaders, community leaders, business leaders, public servants, and partners all united in our commitment to the prosperous future of Los Angeles and her people. Today, we mark a moment in our city's journey. We take stock of where we are, how far we've come, and we assess the challenges in front of us together. This will be my first time as council president welcoming Mayor Karen Bass to the chambers for the State of the City address. We do so at a moment when our city's character has stood in sharp relief to the economic and political turmoil all around us. And we stand in the wake of our own unprecedented natural disasters. The Palisades suffered the brunt of the damage within our city limits, and just beyond our borders,
what up?
many neighborhoods, including Altadena, endured similar losses. Their grief is shared, and their resilience, like ours, runs deep. We are especially grateful to the women and men of our mighty Los Angeles Fire Department. In the crisis, they exemplified for the world to see what service and commitment truly means. And our gratitude extends to all of our city departments for every individual city worker that got up, got out of bed, came into work to make sure our city had the services they needed in that moment. The leadership of this council and our city departments has not been limited to our crisis response. As we all know, this city has deeper challenges that did not get sidelined during this period and will not be sidelined going forward. Nowhere is that more visible than our fight to make sure human beings live indoors in the city of Los Angeles. Every council district has a place where 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 3 years ago, there was an encampment, and today there is not an encampment at that location. And we can use the sidewalks or the park or the freeway underpass as it was intended. For the first time in 6 years, we saw a double-digit decrease in our homelessness point-in-time count, and we expect a similar decrease this year. Public safety, we continue to undergo transformation and make progress. Through sustained investments in community engagement and partnerships, the city is building trust, and we're beginning to see not just a reduction in crime, but a sustainable long-term reduction in crimes. The signs of these progress speak to the collaboration and the leadership of our mighty Los Angeles Police Department and all the partners around the city that take responsibility for keeping us all safe. And as we look forward to the next couple of years, there's almost no conversation about Los Angeles that doesn't involve 2028 and the World Summer Olympic Games and a host of other events that we will have leading up to that time. We're all reminded that this is the time where we prepare our city to invite the world to our front porch and visit with us and have these events. The story won't just be about iconic venues, it'll be about the people, our character, and the neighborhoods that define Los Angeles. From the Sepulveda Basin to Venice Beach, from downtown to South Los Angeles, our Olympic legacy is being built now. It's in transit upgrades that you'll begin to see, local job creations, small business supports, and investments that will last long after the Olympics have gone. So today we celebrate the city's strength. Today we assess the challenges before us. We honor the dedicated people who make it work and the leaders who help guide us in this course. I am so proud to be the first president of the City Council, of this Los Angeles City Council, to present a mayor of any race or any gender to a council sent to us by the voters that is, for the first time in our history, majority female. And I can't think of a better leader to present at this moment, at this time, someone who has been weather tested, who has seen the toughest things thrown her direction, but stands tall in every case and will help lead us through this next period that we go through. Everybody, please stand and join me in welcoming the 43rd mayor of our city, our mayor, Karen Ruth Bass.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you. And thank you, Council President Harris Dawson. I know you have been president for a while, but let me congratulate you on your presidency to the council. To the Los Angeles Fire Department Honor Guard, thank you so much for the presentation of colors. And to the Los Angeles police officers, Carr and Rocha, for that wonderful rendition of the national anthem. Thank you for joining us here in these chambers, and thank you always for your heroic efforts. Madam City Attorney, Mr. City Controller, City Council President Pro Tem, members of the City Council, City Commissioners, department leaders, distinguished guests, and to the people of Los Angeles, and to members of my family. There's so many members of my family here. Please stand, members of the Bass family. And our guests from Japan. Thank you for always supporting me, always being there with me. And thank you for joining me today as we continue to turn the page for our city. In preparing for today, I reflected on my predecessors who addressed our city during times of civil unrest, recession, earthquakes, and pandemics. And no matter what our city faces, LA never, ever gives up. LA always rises, always rises. Yesterday, many of us gathered with our families for Easter. Today, however, many Angelenos will gather to mourn the loss of Pope Francis. On behalf of the City of Los Angeles, I want to offer the condolences of our city to Archbishop Jose Gomez. We come together now in these chambers just over 100 days after a natural disaster, a firestorm that also reminds us of how the world can change in an instant. The aftermath of this disaster weighs on our city, which already had huge challenges before us. We feel it every day. The strain of the housing crisis, the tragedy of the homelessness crisis. We worry about public safety and the unpredictability of our streets. We worry about a changing climate that brings increasing weather extremes. And we worry about rising costs and economic uncertainty. But I want you to know that I see it. We are not here to gloss over difficulties. We are here to make them heads on and to make real change. Today, I want to talk about and confront what isn't working, investing in what is, and delivering results. First of all, we must reform how our city works, and we must rebuild a city that works better for everyone that calls LA home. In January, we saw thousands of Angelenos evacuate from their homes in Sylmar, in Hollywood, in Brentwood, in Encino, in Sherman Oaks, and of course, in Palisades, where tragically 12 people lost their lives. Thousands lost their homes, a traumatic loss not just of property, but of memories, of sanctuary, of community. Our city and county firefighters heroically answered the call. Firefighters from around the state, the country, and even around the world joined in that fight. Let us all thank our firefighters. Freddie Escobar, Chief Villanueva. After the fires were out, Angelenos with resilience and resolve asked, how can we rebuild our homes and when can we go home? Because home is at the heart of healing, and that has been the North Star of our recovery efforts, to get people home. So I want to acknowledge some heroes in that effort who are here today. Larry Vane of Pali Strong, Miriam Czar of the Pali Recovery Coalition, and Sue Cole of the Pacific Palisades Community Council. All three have been working from day one to make sure that the community of the Palisades is in the forefront of the recovery effort. To Kevin Chin, who despite having stage 4 cancer, single-handedly fought the flames and saved people's lives. Larry, Marion, Sue, Kevin, please stand so we can congratulate you, applaud you, and thank you again. Now, Councilwoman Park. I'm not sure I need to say more than that. Councilwoman Park, let me thank you for your leadership, for your support, for standing up for your constituents every day. You push the city, the county, the state, and the federal government to do more and to do it faster and to get the job done on behalf of Palisades. Please stand, please stand. She has been in the Palisades at fire stations, at recovery centers, every day. She has been on the ground, making sure we cut red tape and provide comfort. And so again, we thank you, Councilman. Today, in reporting on the state of our city, I report to Los Angeles that the recovery in the Palisades is on track to be the fastest in California history.
The way that the caption said
And
California
we're not just
is
moving
crazy.
fast to move fast. We know the faster we can rebuild, the faster we can heal. We still have a long way to go. And for those who have lost a home, each and every day is a day too long, right? We want to be fast, we want to be safe, and we want to be resilient. So let me just tell you, we have issued permits to rebuild twice as fast as after the Camp and Woolsey fires. We restored water nearly a year and a half faster than after the Camp Fire. And we restored power in just 2 months. Los Angeles, I assure you, rebuilding is underway. Our sweeping emergency orders are slicing through red tape and unlocking innovation. And so today, I'm announcing 3 new actions, Miriam, you're gonna be happy, to expedite the planning process and make planning easier to rebuild. I am establishing a self-certification program to reduce redundancy in the permitting process.
What does that even mean? No.
We will launch an initiative to start using innovative AI technology to accelerate and support the city's permit process.
Ooh. AI is coming
Now,
to
if
the city.
successful, we will take both of these new initiatives
Hey, Jax, what
citywide
up?
to accelerate
Chris, what up?
building everywhere. Folks from the Palisades and our councilwoman, finally, I call on the council to pass an ordinance to waive all plan check and permit fees so Angelenos can get home. These actions build on the support the city has provided thus far. Our disaster recovery center, which we opened in January, has helped nearly 10,000 households replace vital documents and obtain recovery services. This sends a signal of hope to Palisades residents while delivering results. People also lost jobs. I think about the housekeepers, the caregivers, the servers, the gardeners, the teachers who worked in homes, restaurants, and small businesses. This is why we opened 4 impacted worker and family recovery centers across the city. These centers have provided financial assistance, business assistance, and other services for people regardless of which fire they were impacted by. The impacts are citywide. Air pollution and smoke damage also cause displacement around the city. So recovery has been all hands on deck, and I want to thank the county Supervisor Holly Mitchell. I want to thank the county for its partnership in debris removal, and we continue to stand in solidarity with those affected by the fires in Altadena, in Malibu, and elsewhere in the county. And I also want to thank the White House and our federal partners, FEMA, the EPA, the Army Corps of Engineers. So I want to take this opportunity to introduce another one of our heroes, Colonel Swenson of the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. The councilwoman and I weren't sure we would recognize you outside of your Army Corps of Engineer uniform. Let me just say that the Colonel has become a hero in this city and in the Palisades because he has led the effort that has contributed to us having the fastest recovery so far in California history. The Army Corps of Engineers has already cleared 500 properties in the Palisades area, which means people can start rebuilding today. And to our governor, Governor Newsom, and our state agencies, we want to thank you all for your support. You have moved mountains to remove hazards and restore hope. Philanthropy has stepped up in a big way too, with support coming from long-standing major institutions and from everyday Angelenos. So first I want to thank Coach J.J. Redick, not just for leading the Lakers to the playoffs, we thank him for that too, but also for leading LA Strong Sports. I want to thank Steadfast LA and Palisades stakeholder organizations for creating and joining us in creating this public-private partnership that will fund, redesign, and rebuild the Palisades Recreation Center. That's right. our youth who still feel the trauma from the pandemic were traumatized again by the fires. But this initiative will help them heal. So please join me in giving thanks for all of the generosity from individual people and from our philanthropic community.
My bad. I didn't realize my comments was off on Kick.
So home isn't just a structure, it's a feeling. If Los Angeles is going to work for the people who call it home, then home has to feel safe. That's why public safety is at the core of our work. From the beginning of my administration, we have led a comprehensive approach to safety. I said we would work to rebuild the ranks of the LAPD to protect our communities, and I want to thank Councilman Lee and Councilwoman Rodriguez for your staunch advocacy for public safety. And I'm pleased to report that we have hit a 4-year high of applications to join the LAPD. But the frustrating part is that the city's broken system now stands in the way of actually hiring those applicants. So that's why, you know it's coming, Malika. That's why I appointed a new head of the personnel department with a clear directive. Stop the bureaucratic madness, overhaul the system, how's that for pressure? And get officers hired and on our streets. And I look forward to working with Chairman McCosker of the Personnel and Hiring Committee to reform this process citywide. The hiring process needs to be reformed, and you will lead the effort. We also created a first-of-its-kind Office of Community Safety, which works to prevent crime and reduce violence across the city. The office works with trained and trusted intervention workers. They have built trust with the community and are uniquely qualified to stop gang violence and stop cycles of retaliation. They are an essential part of our crime-fighting strategy. Now, we've also brought in a new chief, Chief McDonald. Chief McDonald and I Chief McDonald and I stand together in reporting good news. Violent crime and property crime are down in Los Angeles. And this is the result of a comprehensive approach to safety.
It would be cool if they just do it.
Last year, homicides fell by 14%. Gang-related homicides in communities most impacted fell by 45%. The number of shooting victims fell 19%, and we've intensified safety efforts on Metro. We have cracked down on organized retail theft. We're addressing copper wire theft through public safety efforts and new solutions like solar street lights. And we are acting boldly around MacArthur Park to bring crime down in a united effort with Councilwoman Hernandez. Angelinos, we are turning the corner on crime in Los Angeles, and we will not go back. Because at the end of the day, public safety is about so much more than statistics. It's about whether people feel secure where they live. It's about whether they feel safe at home. So if you are a police officer, and let's start with our Chief McDonald, please stand. If you are an interventionist, if you have worked toward making public safety in Los Angeles safer, please stand. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your work, all of you. The homelessness crisis is a humanitarian crisis, and it affects everyone. Those without a home and those who worry about what they see outside of their home. We have made significant progress, but we still have much further to go. So first of all, I want to thank Council Member Rahman, Chair of the Housing and Homelessness Committee. I thank you for your leadership, and as the chair, she leads the way. That's right, you can give her a round of applause, she deserves it. Now, partnership is so important. Partnership here in this room and throughout the county and all 88 cities in it. But in the wake of the county's decision to withdraw from LAHSA and audits confirming what we already know, the system is broken. It must be transformed. However, I'm concerned that there is the potential danger of going backwards into silos. And frankly, just creating new bureaucracy is not in and of itself transformational. Moving forward, we must make sure we have a comprehensive and regional approach. And the city of Los Angeles is ready to continue down the road of reform and solid, meaningful partnership. Year after year, the broken system allowed the crisis to grow. In 2016, voters approved Measure HHH to build 10,000 units of housing. At the time, LA had about 25,000 unhoused residents. But by the time I took office, less than 2.5 years ago, that number had grown to more than 46,000 unhoused Angelenos. On my first day in office, I declared a state of emergency on homelessness, specifically to inject disruption and change to fix the broken system. This includes systematically confronting old, outdated policies that actually stop people from being housed. Listen to this. People living in a tent, people who had nothing, actually had to prove that they were poor before they were eligible for housing. So I want to know, how do you prove no income? How do you prove nothing? So we fought, and Washington removed that barrier. Here's another one. If veterans, heroes who fought for our country,
like 5 different people I know
received disability
in the
checks,
audience.
they were told they made too much money and were not eligible for veteran housing vouchers. So we mobilized. We took more than 50 mayors to Washington, D.C., and we fought, and Washington removed that barrier. The result is, for the first time, we have secured housing vouchers for every homeless veteran in LA. We built a partnership with US Vets, the Greater LA Realtors and Apartment Association. In fact, even Stevie Wonder has joined the call. So now I call on all Angelenos who have rental properties: be a patriot, take a voucher, house a veteran. For years, the de facto policy of the city and the county rigidly over-prioritized permanent housing to the extent that people were just left on the street while housing was being built. Well, I don't care how fast you build, we cannot build fast enough to leave people on the streets until the projects are completed is unacceptable. It's unacceptable for people to live in squalor on our streets. This is Los Angeles. So we must invest in long-term interim housing. Inside Safe represents a major change. Instead of waiting on expensive new housing to be built, we tapped LA's supply of underused motels to bring people inside immediately. Inside Safe has cleared thousands of tents outside of schools, storefronts, and homes citywide. But given that, we know that motels alone are not financially sustainable. We must invest in long-term interim housing, places where people can stay safe and receive comprehensive services to rebuild their lives while we build housing that Angelenos need. We are already proving new models for immediately making housing available at much lower costs. LA for LA, led by Sarah Dussault. LA for LA is the public-private partnership that I announced from this podium last year. LA for LA is helping us acquire existing buildings. We have already master leased a building in Koreatown that has housed nearly 60 Angelenos who were part of Inside Safe. The strategy of LA for LA is to experiment with new, less expensive financing models and acquire vacant properties which will be faster than relying on building new properties. But you know what? After all of that, we must figure out how to prevent people from ending up on the streets in the first place. And if we don't, we'll have more of the same. Again, 25,000 Angelenos on the street in 2016 exploded to 46,000 in 2022 because every day more people were falling into homelessness than being lifted out of it. The problem is there are few, if any, research-tested programs actively preventing people from losing their homes. The Mayor's Fund connects people in danger of becoming homeless with resources that will help them stay housed, whether it is food and healthcare assistance to ease financial burdens so people can pay their rent, or legal assistance to avoid evictions. The Mayor's Fund is able to reach out to help every Angeleno facing eviction. But this is because of action taken by the council, led by Councilmember Rahman, to require that the city be notified of every eviction filed. That's a partnership. The council passed the ordinance, the Mayor's Fund is implementing it along with many other organizations to prevent people from becoming homeless in the first place. So we had the Mayor's Fund program analyzed by Loyola Marymount University, and during the 6-month study period alone, the Mayor's Fund connected 31,000 Angelenos with resources to help them stay housed. And I know that there's some people here who were able to stay in your homes because of the Mayor's Fund, along with some of the caseworkers who helped keep people housed. Will you please stand to be recognized? Where are you? There you are. And I want to acknowledge the CEO of the Mayor's Fund, Conway Collis. Now, is confronting homelessness expensive? Of course it is. And we are working to lower costs and make sure that valuable tax dollars are being well spent. But leaving people on the street comes at an enormous human cost. Last Thursday, I was at an encampment that had existed since before the pandemic. More than 25 RVs lined the street with more than 41 Angelenos in tents up and down the block. I met a veteran. I met a family who had clearly just been evicted because all of their household items were on the street in front of their tent. I saw a child, maybe the same age as my 1-year-old grandson, I think, who just left. I saw that child in a dirty stroller, and his sibling was standing next to him, hiding her head because she didn't want to be seen. What is going to happen to that child? But I'm happy to say that they're all inside now. And for me, housing these folks, saving lives, and ending encampments that have been there for years and years, that is worth the cost, because the cost of leaving an encampment on the street impacts everyone around. Small businesses pay the price when their entrances are blocked. People lose their jobs when restaurants lose customers. Residents feel safer when encampments are removed and people are housed. The LAPD will report that crime is down at locations where encampments were removed and people were housed. And just last week, Chief, the fire department shared that nearly a third of fires in Los Angeles, involve someone who is homeless. An ambulance ride costs thousands, and so does a night in the emergency room. Multiply that by the number of encampment incidents every year, and it's clear that the cost of doing nothing is not just inhumane, it is also financially unsustainable. So we're taking action and making change. And after years of increasing homelessness, we are finally reversing that trend, and homelessness is down, and that includes a 10% reduction in street homelessness and a 38% reduction in makeshift structures and tents. We are moving thousands more people from the streets before we took office, and more Angelenos are being moved into permanent housing than ever before. Now, all of this comes as nationwide homelessness went up by 18%, but not in Los Angeles. Now, we all wish that we could just focus on reductions in homelessness and crime and on the fastest recovery in our state's history. But the reality is, our city faces a more than an $800 million deficit. Cities like ours are going through challenging economic times across the nation. Turmoil and uncertainty from Washington and a slowing economy are causing lower revenue projections to the tune of hundreds of millions of dollars. Liability settlements have tripled from backed up lawsuits during the pandemic and uncapped damages. Combined with personnel costs and, of course, the fires and rebuilding altogether, Los Angeles, we have a very difficult budget to balance. Since January, I've been in active conversations with our partners in labor to find solutions to address a worsening economic outlook. We identified new revenue to offset costs. We reduced funding for the mayor's office. We further eliminated ghost positions, and we postponed some capital projects. But now, I would like to take a minute to address our city workforce directly. Make no mistake, you are this city's greatest asset. Every single day, you come to work in dedicated service to the people of Los Angeles, and often in challenging working conditions. You help Angelenos, and you help make our city better every day. But I want to be straight with you. My proposed budget, unfortunately, includes layoffs, which is a decision of absolute last resort. The city attorney and I will be in Sacramento this week to meet with legislative leaders and advocate for resources while also working to manage the increasing liabilities. So let me assure our hardworking public servants that I will never, ever stop fighting for you. Now, we're also taking steps to make our city run in a more efficient manner. We're going to consolidate departments, rebuild our reserves, and reorganize structures with the #1 goal of improving services for Angelenos. I was proud to have supported new labor contracts approved by the council that invested in our workforce. But now it is time to work together again so we can balance this year's budget and create a foundation for long-lasting and long overdue fiscal stability. I will make sure the city does its part. I want to be clear, the departmental changes contained in this budget proposal must only be the beginning, because we must have fundamental change starting now and moving forward. For example, upgrades or maintenance to a single street can involve the Board of Public Works, the Department of Transportation, the Bureau of Engineering, the Bureau of Street Services, the Bureau of Street Lighting, the Bureau of Sanitation, and the DWP. Building housing can involve the Planning Commission, the Planning Department, the Department of Building and Safety, the Bureau of Sanitation, the Bureau of Engineering, the Fire Department, the Housing Department, and the DWP. This is a broken system, and to turn LA around, we have to fix this. I agree with the controller that we should move forward to implement a multi-year budget and to amend our charter. We are doing work to plan capital projects over the long run through the city's first ever capital improvement plan established under my executive order. This week, we will be announcing the executive director of the Charter Reform Commission, as well as the first appointees, with the goal of standing up the commission before the end of this month. The state of our city is this: homelessness is down, crime is down. These are tough challenges, and they show that we can do so much more. We still have a long way to go. We need a citywide turnaround, and we need a fundamental overhaul of city government to deliver the clean, safe, and orderly neighborhoods that Angelenos deserve in the place they call
Lucy.
home, and to reverse decades of failure on homelessness. So my pledge is to continue making change, and I ask the City Council and every Angeleno to join in turning our city around.
I think the budget also drops at 2 p.m. online, so
we are building a city ready
might be able to find
lead,
something there.
not just for today, but for tomorrow. From downtown to the valley, from the port to the airport, we are investing in jobs, housing, and opportunity. Because the cost of living keeps going up, it's harder and harder to put food on the table, gas in the tank, and pay the bills. Tariffs and trade wars will make this worse and make things more expensive, but we are fighting here in LA to create better paying jobs. Trade and trade wars are also causing instability all across the supply chain that is at the heart of our economy. The Port of LA is the nation's #1 port, and 1 in 9 people in our region have a job connected to the port. Just think, 40% of all U.S. goods come through our port, Mr. Soroka. We will strategize. Jean Soroka. We will strategize with you and fight for you to
Soroka
protect
was
our
asleep.
longshore workers, truckers, manufacturers, business owners, big and small. And make no mistake, we will protect every Angelino, no matter where you are from, no matter when you arrived in LA, because we know how much immigrants contribute to our city in so many ways, and we will always stand strong with you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. This is LA. New investments are coming to LA, like the recently announced Rams Village, which will be built on nearly 100 acres and be home to the team's headquarters and training facilities, along with new housing, workspaces, and a first-of-its-kind entertainment center for the Valley. We appreciate the team's increasing investment in LA, and I want to thank Councilmember Blumenfield for his leadership and perseverance in making this happen. Council President Harris Dawson is leading the change to revitalize Crenshaw Boulevard with Destination Crenshaw, an open-air people's museum. It will have more than 100 installations of public art by artists from South LA. This will dramatically repair, revitalize, and sustain the Crenshaw corridor and center it as a must-see exhibition for art consumers from around the world. LAX is a national economic powerhouse, John Ackerman. Raise your hand. And I want to make sure when LAX makes investments, it invests in the rest of LA too. That is why we have broken new ground in contracting and construction at the airport. So the latest round of $5 billion in investment prioritizes LA jobs and LA businesses. In fact, this investment includes 13 first-time ever prime contractors. This is an example of how we will continue to build businesses and build LA despite tough times. We will get it done. Last year, from this podium, I called for the need to invest and modernize our convention center. And I am proud to report today that with the council's vote 2 weeks ago, we are well on the way. If we are going to bring downtown back, if we are going to bring tourism back, we can't sit back and hope for something to happen. We must compete to win. Right now, conventions are going elsewhere.
What's
With
good,
a new
Mills? What's
convention
popping with you?
center, we will attract thousands of business travelers with expense accounts who will book hotel rooms, buy souvenirs, and visit our vibrant neighborhoods. And we must compete for those jobs, and we have to win back, first and foremost, our foundational industry, the entertainment industry. We have to win back our entertainment jobs. I renew my call to the state to triple the film and TV tax
Oh,
credit.
just shoot me a text when you're ready. That's all you gotta do. You don't never gotta do that. Just like text me, say, hey, I'm getting on. I got you.
When I was Speaker of the Assembly, along with Assembly Member Paul Krikorian, we passed the state's first production tax credit. But you know, we didn't keep up. And other states and other countries are now taking our good middle-class jobs. But we will continue to advocate in Sacramento for the tax credit. But LA, Angelinos, we also have to do our part right here. So going forward, we will make it easier and more cost-effective to film on city property. And we will also streamline the permitting process to make it easier to film
No, you
in
good.
LA.
Just want you to know. Just text me, bro. I saw you was trying to get get on the Discord or something.
So to
On the
our
weekend, I
leaders in
wasn't too sure.
Sacramento and
Saw
to
you
our
in Domino Twitch
local
chat, but
industry leaders here,
you know,
I
we on.
say, let's bring Hollywood back. Now, you know, we have to fight for our future, but we all have to want it. We all have to believe in it, because a great city isn't just built by policy or investment. It's built by the people who show up for it and show up for each other. As the 2028 games approach, I know Councilmember Harada is working hard to make downtown ready for the Olympic Games. Councilmember Hernandez is working with the community to welcome Olympic baseball at Dodger Stadium. Councilmember Padilla is preparing for the pentathlon, which will be held at the Sepulveda Basin Recreation Area. Councilmember Price is working to welcome the USC Sports Center, and Councilmember Nazarian will welcome squash players to the East Valley. And thanks to Councilman McOscar's work and relationships, Team Croatia will be headquartered in San Pedro and maybe a few other things. We hope Councilwoman Hutt will host Team South Korea in Koreatown. And you, Councilwoman Yaroslavsky, you will be gearing up for thousands of athletes to be housed at the Olympic Village in UCLA. So working to unite and prepare the city is our former City Council President, Paul Krikorian. Now, he is now the Executive Director for the Office of Major Events. And I want to thank you for making sure that the Olympic flag and the Paralympic flag are here in the City Council chambers. Thank you, Paul. When I think about these games, I think of icons like Anita de France. She is a trailblazing Olympic medalist who helped organize the 1984 Games for LA. And she has been an IOC member since 1986. And thanks to Anita and former Mayor Eric Garcetti and LA 28's Casey Wasserman, we will now be only the third city in history to host 3 Olympic Games. But most of all, the games are exemplified by people like Ariel Middleton. Ariel was introduced to sports at 5 years old. Where are you? Where are you, Ariel? Is she here with us? Well, I'm going to talk about her anyway. She was introduced to sports at 5 years old, and since then, she has participated in water polo, volleyball, wheelchair basketball, wheelchair tennis, shot put, and discus. She's a Play LA athlete, a city program that provides access to sports at our rec center, and it's powered by the Olympic and Paralympic movements. She didn't let her challenges get in her way, so at 16 years old, she became one of the youngest members of the 2024 U.S. Paralympic team, and she won a silver medal in Paris. She exemplifies the opportunity and inspiration to young people that city initiatives like Play LA and the Olympic Games provide. She is what the LA Games are all about. Now, 2028 is right around the corner, but we are only 15 months away from welcoming the world for the World Cup. We want people not just to see our stadiums, we want them to see the real LA. Our neighborhoods from East LA to Pico Union to South LA, from Watts to Woodland Hills, from Eagle Rock to Encino, from San Pedro to Sylmar, and we want our city to be at its best. So this is why I am calling on all Angelenos to come together to prepare our city to welcome the world. Let's come together and do this. So this Saturday, we will launch Shine LA to show the spirit of our city coming together. Every single month, we will bring Angelenos together side by side to unify and beautify our neighborhoods, improving communities and parks, planting trees, painting murals, and so much more. I invite all Angelenos to join us on Saturday. So we'll be in South LA, Boyle Heights, Echo Park, West LA, the Valley, the Harbor area, and we'll kick it off with a community celebration in Hollywood with more than 40 organizations there. And thanks to the partnership with Councilman Soto Martinez, we will all begin to show our love for LA. We have one goal: love LA. We will show our love for each other, just like the spirit that we all felt in October. Remember October, when we celebrated our Dodgers winning the World Series just across the street? That's the kind of spirit that we need. So join us, and to join this movement, you can visit lamayor.org and sign up today, this coming Saturday and every month until we welcome the world next July for the World Cup. This is about pride. It's about choosing to believe in our city again and proving it with action. Block by block, we will come together to be stronger, more unified than ever before, and that matters, especially in a world that seems to seek constantly to divide us against each other with each and every day. So Angelenos, this is about you. This is about all of us. It's about choosing to believe in each other again and the future of the city that we love. Because this is a city of dreams. So let me tell you a story. Leading up to the 1984 Olympics, we were in the midst of the worst recession in 40 years. The world doubted us. And yes, maybe we doubted ourselves too. But Los Angeles delivered the most successful Olympic Games in history. We didn't just host the world, we redefined what was possible. Because the games at its best are more than sport. They are a stage for courage, for potential, for dreams. So LA, let's go win. Let's win on the world stage, yes, but let's especially win here at home. We owe it to ourselves, we owe it to each other, but most of all, we owe it to the next generation of Angelenos. Thank you for the honor of being your mayor. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
And there you have it. And there go Nicole. Ah, Nicole, I know you. And that was the mayor's address. She glossed over layoffs respectfully. It is what it is, but that's the mayor's address right there. In regards to the state of the city. That being said, I'm out.
All good things must come to an end.
This multi-stream is about to end. Make sure you like, share, follow, gift, and subscribe. Steezy on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, and Kick.
Until next time.
Stay connected. Stay connected. Stay